Hello! Hello everyone, and welcome back, once again, to Minecraft from the Fog. And I think I may have angered forces even beyond the ghosts who have already been stalking us, haha! Oh man. I think I made a big mistake building my house out of nether materials. It may keep them from burning them down, but I mean, they're elements from their own world. And I don't think it works like kryptonite. I'm less safe than ever, but at least it makes for good content? Well, anyway, every time I look across, I think there's like a skeleton staring at me from across the hall. But it's just the texture of the iron door. Will you leave me alone, please? Torment me no longer, spirits. Oh, I really am starting to be like Sarah Winchester. Oh, great, the roof is even leaking. I'm telling you, you get what you pay for, and... well, I didn't pay anything for these materials. I just brutally exploited an ancient and proud race. And their homeland. Okay, you keep doing this. We are putting these out. At least for now. Hey! Oh, are you just manifestations of my guilt at my lack of worth as a parent? You know, this is like the third time you've been on fire. And yet you smile. Huh? Well, anyway, I've been thinking... I think in this part, I'm gonna kind of reorganize what my goals are for this series. Because I never actually intended for it to be a series. It was supposed to be a one-shot that just turned out to be wildly popular. Well, here's the thing. I don't think I'm gonna do any of the standard stuff, like fighting the Ender Dragon or taking on, like, any bosses or anything like that. But I do think it's important to start doing more what Minecraft is all about. Because I said in the last part that I remember Minecraft as a game about building and crafting. A game where the crafting feels more rewarding because of what you have to do to get those materials. To feel like you've actually moved up in the world because you can look around at your base and think about the effort you had to put in, not just from building it, but from acquiring the resources. Where everything is all about bragging rights. So I think it's time for us to focus more on great works. Now, some of our softer short-term goals are still going to be the case. I'm still going to be looking for a village and such. But I think in order to do that, I'm going to take some of your advice. Now, as usual, at this point, it's been less than 24 hours since Episode 5 premiered. But I have been reading your comments, and once again, there's a lot of really useful info in there. And you informed me that pillager outposts actually spawn close to villages. So I think I'm going to head back in that direction as little as I want to, and see what I can find. Oh, that silence is deafening. This place feels so much more threatening now that I'm not greeted by Liberty's signature giggle whenever I enter. I didn't realize it, but I had actually come to associate that sound with entering the nether. Howdy, buds. Oh, good. I am wearing a golden helmet. Hey, are you guys up to a hunt? Because in order to head over to that illager outpost, I do feel like I'm actually gonna need... Thank you. I do feel like I'm actually gonna need some of those leather boots you were telling me about. Guess I'll just wait to get off fire. Munch, munch, munch. Remember, it's like they teach you in kindergarten. If you're ever on fire, stop, pull out a pork chop, and eat it. Hello. Oh, I swear they're coded to appear outside windows. And you know what's weird? I've gotten used to it to an extent, but there is some part of me that just does get startled every single time. I mean, I suppose it just never goes away. That feeling when you turn around and someone is there unexpectedly. Well, I think it's just about time for us to head out in search of that village, and with our fancy new spyglass, it should be easier than ever. I would like to do this with a horse, but unfortunately we can't craft ourselves a saddle, but we can get ourselves some leather boots. And just for the heck of it, let's see what kind of enchantments we can get with these, since it does seem to actually depend somewhat on the specific material of the item. And it's just all the usual stuff. I think we'll just take protection, just to give us a little bit more of an advantage, considering we won't be wearing these. I'll put them on if we need them. It's just good to have, you know? I had spoken before about how I don't really tend to care for the RPG-ish elements that have been added over time, but one that I really do like is enchantments, and it's all because of the way they're implemented. I would find them somewhat pointless if all they did was add more protection or things like increased armor. Basically, if they only boosted their stats that already existed, I wouldn't like them that much. However, what I do really like is how they add abilities on top of that, things that you wouldn't be able to achieve otherwise. So, for example, boots that make you jump higher or take less damage from falls. A helmet that allows you to partially breathe underwater, and different tiers of that. And so those are things that I think make it worthwhile, and make it actually fun to experiment, and have different builds and different suits of armor for different purposes. It's getting darker a lot more quickly than I would have thought. And unfortunately, the only thing to look forward to ahead of us, I just saw a glow, is going to be the villager outpost up ahead. I mean, sorry, the pillager outpost. Pillager? Illager? I don't know, I just call them pillagers, since that's what they do. They already tried to pillage my house. Now, since we are out here looking for a village, I have on me a bucket of milk, because we're very likely to obtain that bad omen effect, and I don't want my first meeting with villagers to be a negative one. I'll tell you what, we might as well investigate this cave system, right? I mean, the way I see it, it's night anyway. It's far more dangerous on the surface than it is down here. A more enclosed space, such as a cave, if you can... Ooh, that's pretty. That's very pretty. Hello! I was just going to say, you have to consider things like light levels, and so something like this is actually very attractive. Alright, do I have shears on me? I do. Let's put away our string. But we can't actually get this. Oh, well, we can get that. Spore Blossom. Alright, we'll be taking a sample of that. And what are you? Glowberries. Ooh. Oh, look at the way they dangle in this cave. That is so pretty. Oh, and we can get vines. We can use these for climbing. And we can grow more. They're essentially growable ladders from what I remember. Look at all this stuff. More moss blocks, which I believe we already had some of those. Let's put a torch into our offhand. Oh, that's actually kind of annoying. It puts the whole stack there. And it's represented by this little box right here, which I had never really looked at in detail before. Oh, look at that. That is so cool. An entire cavern that's lit from the ceiling. Wonders never cease. It's like every time I investigate something, it turns out to be a whole lost world. You might argue that that's not always a good thing? To be finding something amazing under every rock? But I don't know, it keeps it interesting to be sure. It's certainly more interesting than those narrow caves that used to be the only content. Although, I do wish that I'd found some abandoned mine shafts by now. Those always tended to have the best loot, and they just went on forever. I spent a lot of time lost in them. I was about to say as a kid. Dude, I was like 16 or 17 when those things came out, but that feels like such a distant memory. Oh god! Eee! Okay, line up please, single file. If only arrows could penetrate. No, back up. One at a time, please! Diamonds. Thank you, guys. You were just showing me the way. I hope you accept arrows as a tip for your tour guide. I am betting this is going to be... Nope! Okay, we actually have multiple diamonds. This trip just actually got... Well, it actually just got a lot more high stakes. I do not want to drop this stuff. How many did we get? 3? Excellent. Very, very good. That's weird. It doesn't really feel like we're all that deep. Although maybe those dripstone caves have kind of raised the bar for what counts as deep. Oh, this has been fun, but as usual, my inventory is already full. And we're going to start heading out. Hopefully it's daylight by now. It probably should be, right? Or close to it. But in the meantime... Oh man, I have so much gold. Actually, I should investigate what kind of enchantments I can get from a full suit of gold armor. I mean, I've been getting very different enchantments from the gold helmets than I have from the iron helmets. So I do think the material actually matters. I should be crafting things just to see what their enchantment abilities are. What is that? What was that? Oh, it's actually clay? Dude, that's sick. This cave could actually be a really good source of clay for if I want to make bricks later. Normally you have to go diving in the water to get it, and it's a huge pain. But actually, the Aqua Affinity helmets could help with that quite significantly. Oh, and what do you guys do? You look like lily pads or something. You provide me a temporary place to stand, like every platformer video game ever made. Could have sworn I just heard crunching that wasn't me. Oh, I hear you guys up there. Where are you at? I am prepared. Nope. Guess I'm not. Yep, goodbye! Haha. I sentence you to a fate worse than death. As for your buddy... well, I guess I just sentenced him to a fate of death. Come on. There we go. There's no room to put away the offhand. I'm gonna have to get rid of something. No, I'm not just talking about you. I'll happily accept your XP, though. XP is actually really valuable now that I'm getting in on the enchantment game. And this iron shovel can be thrown away. Now, some of you have actually informed me that we can actually smelt down our... We can actually smelt down our depleted tools in order to get some ingots, so we at least get some kind of return. Yum? I don't know if I've ever heard a dog growl in this game before, or attack something unprovoked. Okay. Just leave you to your meat. And I need to get up on top of this hill and have a look in all directions to see if we can't spy ourselves a village. Now, if we turn around... Hello, sheep. The way you were framed between those two trees was kind of hilarious. It was like a messiah coming into view. And we can have a look at our handiwork down there. And it seems they have been well and truly demolished. They have every right to be mad at me. Although they did attack me first. Oh, thank you so much for the advice. That saved me a lot of trouble going across the way. Although I do not see any villagers yet. Now, that could just be a matter of not having rendered in yet. But does this game actually spawn abandoned villages? Because if so, that would be quite spooky. Oh, I should remember to drink the milk that I brought. And as expected, that does remove the effects. I forgot to bring my emeralds, but now that we know this is here, it's actually not all that far away. And maybe we'll even build ourselves some kind of transit system. I think it's overdue that we started building some minecarts. There they are. Oh, it is so good to see some friendly faces after all this time. Hello? Okay, give me the cold shoulder. You guys have no idea what's just over the hill, and apparently neither do I. Suffice to say, I've saved you from some great danger, and maybe brought you an even greater danger, I don't know. Mr. Farmer, can I trade with you? I really want to learn what you guys have to offer. I can. 26 potatoes, 1 emerald. So I could actually start farming as a matter of trade. I think in my survival world during the pandemic, my source of business was actually paper for the librarian. And we can, in fact, do that here as well. Okay. So there's actually a number of businesses we need to start getting into. Oh, wow, landscaping has been slacking lately. All right. This is our lifeline now. We're not going to live here. I do want to keep that isolated feel. And we just spent a lot of time and resources building up our witch house. But do you think anybody would notice if I took this? This guy comes in, he's like, don't even think about it. Alright, well, I suppose as long as we can use your services for free, we could also trade rotten flesh. Alright, I think it's in our best interests, even if we are in a villain arc, to keep these people happy and safe. Iron Golem, how you doing? I guess they're also cave dwellers. And maybe later when I feel more like it, I'll come dig you out. In the meantime, I probably shouldn't be here when night falls, because I'm not going to be able to protect you guys from the mob. You have two of these things. You do. You do have two of these things. But what I really need is for you guys to have a blacksmith. I think I can summon all of you by ringing this bell. And all of you can ring the bell as well. Actually, I don't see it on my profile, so I honestly don't know if there's a bell to ring on my channel. I have no idea how that works or what it does. But yeah, we need a blacksmith, because if there's one here, then we can actually have a constant source of diamond tools, and therefore diamonds. Alright, where's the blacksmith? Where's the blacksmith? Are you a blacksmith? I guess not. Oh, they followed me here. Maybe I have to build an anvil and place it down? Maybe that's what's needed, and then one of you will become a blacksmith? I know you can get more villagers to spawn by building them houses with beds and stuff. But really, you guys have 2 priests and no blacksmith? It's like Alabama down here. I'll just help myself to this. Oh boy. This witch wants a brewing stand too. Well, you can't have it, it's mine. I stole it fair and square. No, you don't. Ow. Well, I guess you do. Even though it didn't really hit me, but I guess it has a splash area. No! Oh, jeez. Just everything is coming out of the woodwork now. Now, we have arrived back at home. And one thing I wanted to address is that some of you said that in lore, the way to build a Herobrine shrine, I guess, is that actually, underneath the netherrack, you need to have mossy cobblestone. Now we will place that mossy cobblestone. We'll do one over here as well, because they might as well both be right. And then we have to go you, boop, boop, and... But we're actually going to put them out because Liberty is still here. In the last part, I asked you guys what would be a good use of the underwater cave beneath the house. And some of you said that it would be a good spot for the enchanting table, and I agreed, but I like the idea of the old house having some kind of use. And I like it having a use as a magic tower. It's the location of the enchanting table, it's the location of our nether portal entrance. But I think this would be a good spot, now that you put the idea in my head, for the brewing stand. And besides, we do need to put it someplace where they won't ever find it. So let's go ahead and place this torch here, and we'll expand out just a little bit. And I think that'll be a very nice spot for the brewing stand. We'll work on expanding this later into something more fun and pretty. But we are inching ever closer to the ability to brew our own potions. The only thing is we do still need blaze rods, I think. I think we need a continuous source in order to make this work, right? Or we needed something as fuel. We're definitely going to have to start trading with those villagers soon. And in fact, I'm pretty sure you can actually level them up and get better stuff if you trade with them often enough. But in the meantime, I have a lot of work I have to do on the base itself. I want to move my farm closer to where we live, I want to finish out that house itself, and there's a couple other things I want to get working on too. I'm sorry, a lily pad raced towards my bait? What does actually happen if we try cutting this bamboo down? Yep, and it all collapses like trees probably should in vanilla. I think a lot of people use mods that do that. But we get a full stack of bamboo. And we can turn them into sticks. Well, that seems inefficient. Maybe there's other things that can be done with it? I am curious now. I am going to make myself, well, not a helmet. I already have a helmet. But I am going to make myself a full suit of golden armor. Just because I want to see what the potential benefits are. I want to see what the potential enchantments are. So I already have lapis lazuli in my inventory. And if we place this in here, we can get protection, unbreaking. So pretty much the normal stuff, actually. Fire protection, depth strider. I don't know what that means. And the pants give us, the normal stuff. So I guess it actually doesn't matter the material? Oh, I'm still keeping the suit of gold armor. Here we are. I am the golden god. Look at you and your leather. Oh man, did you show up underdressed? There we go. Actually, hang on, I just realized something. Oh man, it's the friggin' zombie crew. Something I haven't done, something that I should have been doing this entire time. I haven't been exploiting third person at all. That is so... Okay. Every time I've heard something run up behind me, I've turned around to look for it. What if I didn't do that? What if I didn't turn to react and instead just went into the third-person view? Tomorrow, I think I'm going to set myself a little trap. Storm tonight. Oh, and it's actually started a little fire. Will that burn down my door? Hi. Oh, you're just chasing me the whole way back. Right in amongst the mobs, which, now that I think about it, it's kind of weird that the mobs just don't react at all. I mean, I suppose it makes sense. This game has always had a feeling like it's you versus the world, kind of. At least until villagers were added. How's it going, Liberty? Even though there's no more fires, I always get nervous when I open the door and can't see you. Also always makes me nervous going to bed on a dark and stormy night. I had a house in a survival world like over 10 years ago that was so cozy, I would honestly always just kind of sit by the window and listen to the storm. I aim to get this house to a point where we can do that again. Oh, here they come. Well, I'll tell you what, you guys just stay right there, and I'll stay up here, and that way it makes it very visually clear who's in charge, okay? Oh no, you're gonna respond to that. Well, I had the high ground, and you know what that means. Much of an advantage. Yep. Yeah, you guys just keep trying, will you? Ow. Oh, you're gonna pay for that. Thank you. And goodbye. Well, that was relatively painless. Well, chickens, I see that nervous look in your eye as I approach, but this time I actually come bearing good news. See, I have moved house, which means I'm even farther away than I already was, and I don't feel like leading all of you over there. So I'll begin a new chicken farm full of new atrocities. And for now, you are all free to go. Although I'm letting you go onto a strange and haunted land full of monsters, so really it's more of a liability thing. But you can all walk free now. Yep, Run free. Do what you wish with your freedom. They won't last a week. Okay, there's a random dirt block on top of my house. I think those can be left by Endermen, but I'm not sure. Alright, well, anyway, I think I'm going to build my farm down here. We'll clear these trees to make way. Over time, I'll smooth out this area so that there's more of a dock sort of thing. But the way I usually handle farms is I'll build out over water with these planks. And, hang on, I haven't actually been counting, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, counting with Chris. And every 2 blocks or so, so like 1, 2, next, we'll do another one. And then in the middle, there will be stacks of dirt, 2 rows, and we'll put whatever crops we want in there. Oh. Oh, you scared me. I was expecting a drowner when I heard that sound. It didn't help that you were looking straight at me with that wide mouth. It's kind of the opposite of what real squids have. I see you. Oh, look at you, that faceless player staring out from amid the tall grass. As soon as I turn, yep, there you go. I feel like they're starting to get bolder, remaining in my field of vision for a lot longer, and not just at the outermost periphery anymore. Sometimes they're actually really... I mean, I suspected it was a bug at first, but now I'm starting to think it may be more intentional. That they're getting more brazen, that they want me to see them. Now here's the deal with this. I'm going to take things like wheat and carrots and put those along the periphery here. So we'll have them in decent numbers, but these middle columns where the overwhelming majority of all this is, that's going to be for potatoes. And the reason is because we can sell those potatoes to the villagers and get a whole lot of emeralds that way. I think there might have been something there. Just now. Like, I thought I briefly saw something in the window. You know, it seems like we've been getting a lot more rain and thunder lately, haven't we? As usual, I can never tell what's the mod and what isn't, but I don't know, it certainly seems like as the aggression of the spirits is ramped up, as we've experienced more invasions of our property, it started to feel like the weather has started to respond in kind. Oh, jeez! Oh, I couldn't back up far enough. I hit the thing. Oh, God. Oh, well, there goes all that glass. And that deep slate, which we're actually starting to run pretty low on. I mean, I can probably make more. It's starting to get really irritating. I'm trying to move stuff over, but I feel like I'm just constantly full on inventory space. It's an issue that I've never had before this game. And I think it's because there's just so many different types of blocks now that it's like impossible to keep a straight inventory. Any ideas? No, you're behind. No? Sometimes it doesn't follow up, and, well, sometimes I never get the opportunity to see. Using the third-person view, it almost feels like I've resorted to carrying a mirror on me everywhere I go. Which I suppose is a paranoid habit that may result from being followed. Some of the things you guys spot, like, just completely amazes me. Like, in the last part, there was a spot where it was hiding behind a tree, just like an arm sticking out, and a ton of you guys saw it. Absolutely unbelievable eyes. But like I've said before, I think it makes the series so much scarier knowing that there's all these times when it was right there and I never even noticed it. Some things I don't spot until editing, and some things I don't spot at all. And that looks like a pretty good farm. We've got, what is that? Like, what is it, 20 each? So that's 40, 80, 120? 120 plots of potatoes growing at a time. And I think next time we go to that village, we will have a whole lot for sale. Although I'm not sure if there's a limit on how much you can sell at a given time. It's also cost us basically like all of the what do you call it, bone meal that we built up over the course of the game. But it's a small price to pay for fast potatoes. I'm also going to start growing a whole bunch of sugarcane along the beach here. And the reason for that is because we can use it for things like paper or sugar, which we can use to make pumpkin pie, which I also want to get a pumpkin pie farm going. Pumpkin farm, I mean, not like growing pumpkin pie on a vine. Bush? Tree? Where would you grow pumpkin pies? Well, you can't. That's like the reason I'm saying this, but yeah, whatever. Abandoned thought. It's very clear now that we're going to have to start moving a lot of our storage down to this main hall, which means we're going to have to start building a lot of new storage. So I think this room is going to be kind of... well, it's what any front room in Minecraft can be. It's going to be kind of a preparation center for going on trips. In there is the inner sanctum, and this hall will be dotted with whatever odds and ends I need, as well as probably some stuff at the ends of the hall that will serve as like a bedroom and all that stuff. Hello. Oh, a trader. An invisible trader. I haven't seen one of you guys since the start of the game. It doesn't look like you really have anything that I want. Can we trade you stuff? No? Only 6 emeralds for ice. What are you, a convenience store? Yeah, red sand, bubble coral block. I don't know what those things do. I don't know if this is stuff that's valuable or not, but I don't really have particular use for any of it at the moment. Well, Invisible Trader, I hope you stick around so I can sample your wares later, but for now I think I'm more interested in my potato business. Ah, your invisibility potion wore off and we finally get a good look at you. Well, here's the thing. I think that in order to prevent a repeat of what happened with the creeper before, what we need is to build ourselves a fence. So, we also need to avoid creepers while in the vicinity of our base. Yeah, we only have 9 of these things. I don't think this will actually protect us. But it can look nice at the very least. We're gonna have to make another trip to the Nether again real soon for more of this stuff. The whole Blackstone idea is not really working out for us. It's just so rare and so finite. Now, I want to start growing pumpkins here, and I don't believe they require water to grow, right? Like, they don't need to be near it. So I think maybe we clear out this space right here. Maybe we'll also use some of this for the new chicken pen. And we'll kind of zone a section of this field for pumpkins specifically. It's always when I'm doing stuff like that I swear I can hear something walking up on me. But, you know, to go back to what I was saying at the start of the series, that could just be part of the game. Like, you know, the whole Herobrine myth, it doesn't derive from nothing. Like all myths, it's meant to explain a feeling that was always present. The sounds in this game, the walking on grass, breaking these things, sometimes it'll overlap in such a way where it sounds like someone else is doing it right beside you. All this mod does is increase the paranoia that it's actually the case. Now, I think it's, it's got to be like 2 or 3 blocks between? It's been a while since I've farmed pumpkins, but we'll do that distance for safety. Actually, wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? You don't plant the pumpkins themselves, you need to harvest them for seeds. So we can go like that, and that, and that, and that. And then we go like that. And that gives us 20 pumpkin seeds, which we can plant right here. Deep slate tiles are different from deep slate bricks. I'll tell you what, I need to make a bunch of deep slate brick stairs Or there's deep slate tile stairs. So that's your secret of survival, huh? You just go invisible at night? Hope the mobs will be confused by the two llamas being led by a floating string. Now, the reason I built all this is because I would really like to start getting this done. But I'm not quite sure how to go about it yet. I've created kind of a weird shape here, so... Hi. Oh, why do ghosts always appear when I'm roofing? Liberty? What just happened? How did you get out? You were... Okay. Alright, come on inside. Actually, this is gonna be difficult. It's gonna be difficult with this. Come on. There we go. Cap you off with that. Have a nice little jutting peak right here. I think that actually looks kind of cool. And for the first time, this base is now entirely enclosed. Yeah, we're gonna have to get some lights in here. That's very clear to me now, that the lighting is not sufficient. Goodbye and goodbye, sir. I said goodbye? What kind of divine intervention was that? Well, Liberty can light the way to some extent, I suppose. But oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Come on! Oh my god! That is so dumb. Oh my... Their spawning is, like, so much more dense than I ever remember it being before. I mean, I could swear, like, I've been noticing it for a while now. It's happening mostly with zombies, but with everything else as well. Like, their grouping is incredible. I always find packs of them when I'm out and about. And it's usually large groups of the same type of mob. There you are. Overseeing construction as usual, are we? Well, I want to build myself, like, my own bedroom, kind of off to the side of all this, since, well, if you can't place your bed centered, what's the point? And besides, it is kind of corny to be sleeping on the floor of my throne room, so I'm probably just going to build something simple off to the side. Howdy. You, stopping in to see how the house is coming? Pretty good so far, kind of a lack of materials, at least in the desired ones, but I'd say it's going along pretty good. I've decided to compromise and start using a lot of deep slate because of its abundance, but, hey, maybe you could go to the Nether and get me some of your stuff? No? Okay. Yeah, the double tap is definitely a thing now. It can't just be a coincidence, it just keeps repeatedly happening. And even though I do have sighting set to uncommon, well, I don't feel so uncommon. Something I really think we have to get started on now is anvils. And I don't quite remember how to make them, so I'm just going to have to kind of experiment, I guess. It actually tells you when you make your first block of iron. Okay, that looks easy enough. So we'll build that. And I think we'll also want to build another one for in case we get to that village and we want to see if we can convert a villager to one. I'm not sure if this will actually work, but it's worth a shot, right? Look how perfectly framed that is. Liberty flying around in the main hall, right in the middle of that big window. Yeah, I haven't had much luck catching you with the third-person view. I feel like it is something that could happen. We also haven't tried the chat in a while. I think I should probably just be doing that periodically just to see if something happens. I mean, so far there hasn't really been anything that's super repeatable, and that's probably for its benefit. Now we have a new chicken pen, and I will just be placing torches down since none of them have disappeared for a while. And yeah, I'm not really quite sure where to source new ones. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of them roaming around in these hills. I really don't want to go ask the old ones for help after everything I put them through. We have kind of a history. Oh, and by ask them for help, what I mean is volunteer to have yourself and generations of your descendants killed so that I can make arrows to kill more things. Yeah, look, this torch is still here. Like, at a certain point, I'm not even convinced it's a feature in the game anymore. Some of you said that the torches may have been left behind in that cave because I hadn't generated those chunks in a while. But explain that thing. That's been there since I started putting up the glowstone. Howdy, guys. Oh, look, this field is absolutely full of them. They've dispersed a good amount. But they really are just chilling now in their former prison, now free to roam about as they please. How weird would this be to come across, just an entire valley full of chickens? But that's one of the things I love about this game, is because of the persistent nature of the mobs, or some of them, and of the landscape, it allows for some emergent storytelling where you can return to a place that was the subject of some whole escapade long ago, and be like, yep, these are the remnants of that day. There you are. You're either someone wholly new and innocent, or someone who wandered a little too far from the flock. In any case, you're coming with me. Oh, you get out of the way. This is my chicken. At this point, some of you have speculated that the ghosts are actually trying to stop me from going on my villain arc. And that's starting to look more and more likely, because they always show up when I'm expanding my operations or luring chickens. That actually startled me a little bit. I go to sleep and I just see hello appear in the corner. Of course, that was me from earlier. But a delayed response is a response no less. And I was kind of worried for a second that that's what it was. I'm returning now to this mine because I have to kill time before there's potatoes, and I need to kind of get a lot more deep slate if I'm to continue building my house. And yeah, all of this remains, even the torches. So I'm actually kind of starting to wonder if they haven't just removed this feature altogether. I see you there. You came to greet me. You're a little different looking. It's like your head is locked in a cage or something. Or you're Amish and that's your beard. But you have no mouth. Ah, I was gonna try to attack you that time. I was really gonna do it. Oh, hoo-hoo! Oh, we were not done with this cave yet. Oh, that is so useful. Diamonds. Oh, and there's even more now. Yeah, this game has really been taunting me with very small veins. But that is no longer the case today. Oh, wow, I probably found more diamonds this part than the previous one where I was actually looking for them. By a wide margin now. Alright, well, that'll keep us going for a little while, which is very good because this pickaxe is actually really not long for this earth. Howdy, bud. What if we don't... Okay. Even WASD movements will register. That's the point I'm at, is where I'm just trying to fight them now. We are ascending, leaving out of this cave with 5 diamonds in our inventory. Plus, I think we found 3 before. We found 8 diamonds in this episode, not even trying. Twice what we did in the previous part. Hello, chicken. You're in the crevice behind my old house. Here we go. Yep, come on. There you go. Oh, wow, that is much better pathfinding than Ready or Not. Now look, I'd say we are close enough. I mean, there's a couple of troublemakers not growing in, it looks like. But I think tomorrow, whatever hasn't grown in yet, we'll leave it, and the rest we'll take with us. and go try and trade with those villagers. I mean, this alone should be enough to get us several full, complete stacks of potatoes, not to mention the 30 or so that we already have in here. At this point, it would be a very embarrassing blunder for me to accidentally bake them all again. I also made this stone pressure plate so that I could easily leave. And I could even put one outside, since we do have that gate now. That's about all it's good for, since it's not wide enough to keep the creepers away. Or the ghosts, apparently. You just don't care about them at all, do you, Liberty? Although, you do seem to have a sort of live and let live attitude in general. I guess that's the nature of being a fairy. You just kind of prance around in nature, not worrying about anything. I do envy you. Alright, today's the big day. And as soon as we're done harvesting all this, we will head off in search of that village and see just what we can get for our emeralds. And just how many emeralds we can get. Now, I'm kind of worried that the villagers will actually change what they're trading for as time goes on. But if that's the case, that'll just mean we'll expand this farm even further so that we'll have a diversity of cash crops. But let's get going. Oh, so many potatoes. So many potatoes. It's like Idaho Simulator. Oh, it seems some of our pumpkins are starting to come in. And we are ready to go with at least 10 potatoes. Which means I'm just going to grab our emeralds and then we'll head off in search of that village. While we're there, we may even buy them a house, or build them a house, rather. Nobody can buy a house. And we'll see if placing an anvil doesn't cause one of them to become a blacksmith. Liberty can open the door. Liberty can actually activate the pressure plate if she happens to brush the ground. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Yeah, this isn't going to work for me. Back in the sanctum, Liberty. Come on. Come on, get in here. Let's go. Come on, thank you. I will eat you. Hello. We've discovered another one of these. With more crying obsidian. Now, we can actually use this stuff to create, well, you guys described the item as essentially a bed in the nether. But we also want to recomplete these things so that we can explore the nether further. I think that'll be one of our next big goals. Ooh, an enchanted golden shovel that'll take forever to break. A golden sword with sweeping edge. I don't know what that does. And some legs with mending. And a lightweight pressure plate, which is not what we need. If anything, we need a heavier pressure plate. But let's get a move on. I'm starting to see why they call it crying obsidian. It actually drips some kind of fluid. Further adding to that sort of otherworldly mythos of the Nether, how it's a place where nothing works the way it's supposed to, and everything has just this kind of not even necessarily outright hostile feel to it. It's more of a, well, I don't know, it just feels like something that's different, that's alternate to the main world in the way it's presented. Something that feels more lost than evil. And that comes across in every aspect of it. Like getting the achievement, Those Were the Days, when coming upon those ruins that the pigmen were inhabiting. Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame about your brewing stand, right? Okay, so you're still accepting rotting flesh, which means hopefully the farmer is still accepting potatoes. Howdy there, Mr. Farmer. Okay, so 26 potatoes equals 1 emerald. I will happily take that. I wish we could stack more potatoes. But this is literally, I only have these for the purpose of selling. So I'm perfectly fine with doing all this. And we can now stack these, and boom. Leaving us with just shy of, oh no, we can do more. And boom. And that is quite a few potatoes sold. And quite a few emeralds as well. Now, I absolutely, definitely do not want to be around here during the night. So what I'm going to do is leave you with one anvil. There you go. And maybe something will happen with that. Probably not. I don't know. I'm just going to leave. I don't want you guys getting annihilated by hostile mobs in the night. Now, I'm the one that's going to get annihilated by hostile mobs in the night. I have 4 arrows left, which is why there's so much urgency in getting that chicken pen done. Oh, there you are. Nope, no. I see you back there. Oh, you're gone now. But I saw her back there, that ghost. That illumination is really something else. Makes them quite obvious, otherwise I probably wouldn't have noticed. You just keep on walking. I got no beef with you. The only thing that sucks is that we still don't really have anything to actually spend these emeralds on. So I think it's kind of back to the drawing board for now. Hopefully they'll manage to get themselves a blacksmith out of this, but I don't know if they will. I mean, all I did was place one in somebody's house. I'm starting a new play session now. I've taken a break for about a day. And the reason for that is because I'm finding that as this series goes on, I'm having more and more, busy work responsibilities that I have to take care of. Things like acquiring resources for construction, farming, and the one I'm dreading the most, the very tedious process of moving and reorganizing all this stuff at the other house. So in the interest of keeping myself, interested, I'm going to try tackling some of the more short-term projects that I can accomplish. So the first of those is going to be re-establishing one of those nether portals and seeing just where it'll take me. Also, I've managed to repair one of these crossbows pretty much back up to max. What happens if we try and enchant it? Is there anything we can get? Piercing. I'm not sure what that does. I think I'll save it for now. I'm really more interested at this point in the levels than anything. But I will take it out to try and use it. You guys, you just don't quit. Okay, well now would probably be a good time to try out that crossbow, right? Well, that actually does take kind of a while. It does seem like maybe it does a little bit of additional damage. Was there something there, or was that just the smoke cloud from the creeper dying? I was looking at the crossbow. Yeah, more damage takes more time. So it's kind of a good tool for... actually, I'm not sure what that's a good tool for. Maybe for something that's trapped and can't get to me? Now that we have enough obsidian, we'll have to keep an eye out for one of those incomplete nether portals. I believe there's one over in this direction somewhere. Now, if I'm correct about my memory of the local geography, it should be just up on top of that hill, because I think right in there is where Liberty was refusing to get out of the boat. So if we come down here, we should be able to access it. Here it is. Yeah, this should work quite nicely. Now, I believe we don't actually have to shape them into particular shapes anymore. I think now just about anything will work. So let's try it in its current configuration. What if we were to do it like that? Would that work? And then maybe we'll use some kind of stairs? I hope it'll work, because if not, I have a lot that I need to do. This will not work, unfortunately. Maybe it doesn't work with crying obsidian? There we go. That's kind of annoying. Crying obsidian should work. In fact, I kind of feel like maybe it should do something else with crying obsidian. Like maybe take you somewhere different or cause some kind of effect when you go through. I mean, this is a game where basically every combination of things does a thing. But let's put on our party attire and see what's on the other side. Ooh. Entirely new place. Actually, an underground place. Actually, the lack of activity here is somewhat disconcerting, to say the least. There's some free gold awaiting us, but maybe we should get an idea for our surroundings before we start trying to reap these rewards. Oh, it's almost like a giant hallway. Sort of reminds me of, like, a level in an old video game or something. The way the monotonous textures dot the walls. Okay, maybe... See, this looks like netherwort. So maybe it's on top of, like, a tree or something? No, it's just kind of here. To be honest, I have no idea how to figure out up or down in the nether. We're up on top of a mountain. I believe 1 block in the real world is 16 blocks in the nether. Which would mean that we actually have to move down. We're up in the nether's ceiling. Let's try it and see what happens. We're digging down into netherwort. Yep. Oh, look at that. Well, at least we have a somewhat safe place to start off. Silver linings. But we're going to have to build ourselves a staircase going down. Best way to do that's probably just going to be to fall and break our legs. I'm actually... Oh, well, I guess there's some... Ooh. I had forgotten that Optifine lets you zoom like this. Well, that's a good thing, I guess, because we forgot our spyglass. Yeah, But now we can easily climb back up. And let's have a look around. Remember, we're looking for a nether fortress. And so far, we can't see one of... Hello? I mean, I suppose this is useful. We could use this... Ooh. We could construct a rail system over to here and use that as a fast travel to the village, basically. On the server I have with my cousin, we actually have, a fast travel system using the nether portals. But you have to be really specific. I remember getting out my, like, calculator app and using it to, like, figure out where we'd have to place a nether portal in order for it to take us where we want it to go. So unfortunately, it would be really annoying to place it directly in the village itself, but this does get us further in that direction. Speaking of further in this direction, this does at least give us an opportunity to walk along this ledge and see what's out here. Mostly just a whole bunch of other piglins, and a bunch of nether quartz, which I will happily take. What was that? We follow this, and we can get to actually quite a wide area. Yeah, if nothing else, this has saved us from having to spend a bunch of resources bridging a gap over here. We may be able to get some more exploration out of this yet. We can actually walk a fairly long way. Oh, look, there's, like, gray mountains in the distance. Some kind of, like, sand? Wow, it's almost like it really does form, like, a bank of a river down there. There's a lot of materials here that I'm not familiar with. And a lot of enemies. What are you? Just pretend I'm using my spyglass right now. Okay, no idea what those things are. Or what that stuff over there is. Okay. I only caught a glimpse of that for a second. I'm assuming it's like the white, sort of robed-looking one with the red, like, dot in the center, or maybe red eyes? But what I thought I saw for a brief second, I was transported back to the end of 2020, and I thought I saw one of those floating ghost girls from Cry of Fear. Speaking of floating ghosts... well, we've observed our first ghast of the game. And now the other ghosts are getting jealous. Now, I was reading some warrior comments, and some of you told me that we can actually grow these nether plants, but they can only actually be grown on the nether soil that grows on netherrack. So the only way for us to safely extract that is with something that's enchanted with Silk Touch, which we can't do by ourselves in the moment. However, we do have the ability to just grow our stuff right outside a portal. So we can do it, it's just not the most convenient. Ow. Excuse me? What's your problem? I'm not gonna attack so that the rest of you don't fight back, but what is your problem all of a sudden? Yeah, I'm grabbing some glowstone dust, but to be honest, I think I would be better served grabbing this using Silk Touch later on. Because this is, like, literally low-hanging fruit, and I'm not really using glowstone for anything. I'm kind of using more the glow shrooms. I can hear one over me, and there's a lava flow up above. Like I said before, I'm not really familiar with how levels of the Nether work. What would happen if I were to go down to lava level and start tunneling down? What would happen if I were to keep trying to tunnel up? I legitimately have no idea, even after all these years. This pick has also almost had it. Now, I'm going to build a new one, but the question I have for you is it better to use diamonds to repair it, or just build a new one when it gets to this level? Oh, and there is so much to discover. It looks like we found a whole new biome. But the sound of that ghast is really making me nervous. It actually reminds me of back when the Nether first came out. I was so excited to explore this new dimension. I came in after building my first portal, spawned inside the Netherrack, and every time I tried to mine my way out in the dark, I could hear the sounds of those gas noises. It was so creepy and terrifying. See, the fact that Endermen spawn here as well, it's a little bit disconcerting. It gives you the impression that there's something above both worlds. Not something native to here. You don't see them here often enough for that. Just something that, well, is able to freely travel. We have to build a portal to do that, but them, they can do so at will. Oh, look at this cool place. This is probably just growing on regular netherrack like the other stuff, right? And if we grab some shears... Oops. We can probably... Oh no, this is just another type of wood. Well, we'll take some. Yeah, it's a brand new type. Warped stem. Which means this would be some kind of warp biome, huh? I do not like standing next to ledges when I can hear all these pig noises. I feel like I'm gonna get hit from behind and knocked over. But all this wonder... The exploration in this game is certainly improved. The Nether used to be, for as expansive as it has always been, felt a lot more empty. But there appears to be some other type of retrievable vine. Not worth risking our safety for that just at this moment, but it is something we'll want to come back for at some point. Ooh. Behind all this terrain, we found, like, another of these weird hallway-type things. Maybe we can cut our way through? Oh, this is so creepy. It's like the back rooms of the Nether. Ow, see... Oh, I get it. I get it. You guys, you don't like me touching your gold. Right? You don't like it. Oh, I am going to take so much more from you. Wow, you guys do actually a lot of damage. Huh. Well, let's keep that stuff healing and get out of here then. Now, something we're going to want to be careful of when we step through this portal is... Okay, we come out facing this way. I am just going to eliminate this particular liability before it becomes an eventuality. Yeah, there we go. Because I know that one of these days I'm going to come out of here and end up falling, just face-planting right off the ledge into lava. It's actually taken me quite a while to get back here, which I'm taking as a sign that we really do need to build that nether transit system. I think that'll be a good way for us to get farther and farther out. This room at the end of the hall, now completed, will soon be our inner sanctum. I prefer a sleeping space to be a little bit smaller because I feel like it makes it much less likely that something sneaks up on us in the night. Although I do always want them to be able to observe, painfully clawing at the back of my neck because I don't want to forget that they're out there. I always want to be lying in bed, knowing that they're just behind me, knowing that they can't get me, but that they'll never stop trying. That is the essence of creepy and comfy. We're also going to give ourselves a little bit of a nightlight right over here, just to keep any mobs from spawning inside. And for now, I think we are good. Let's also just give ourselves a little bit of a fanciness. There we go. Actually, what am I doing? The whole reason I moved rooms was because I didn't want Liberty getting burned up in the fire. Burn the flames, and every night we cremate ourselves to show off. Yeah, now that window has a real purpose. In fact, why don't we go all the way? Yeah, now we use our excess quartz to build ourselves a real crematory, which we seal ourselves into every single night. Oh, I love this idea. Oh, this is the coolest thing I've ever come up with in Minecraft. Well, night has fallen. Let's try it out. Oh, look at that. That one gap in the middle, staring out of our burning sarcophagus. I don't know how I'm able to do this, but it certainly is a good party trick and/or way to show off to ghosts to assert dominance. Howdy, bud. Are you trying to show off, saying, look at me, I am burned? Well, I don't get burned. That's like the cooler thing. You don't show off by showing your scars, you show off by avoiding scars. So that is how we make rails. Useful to know. And we are going to want to make a whole ton of rails indeed. Now, building these 2 stacks of rails is actually using up a good chunk of the iron that I have. Like, in total. So, I'm really kind of worried that we're going to run out. But I want to get this done. Because completing this nether rail system, something which is expandable in the future, mind you, is something that I feel will really expand our capabilities in the future. Basement Chicken, you came back. Oh, so that's how it is. You just wanted to rub it in. Tell me that you're living here. You've been living in my house ever since I left it. Well, it's not abandoned. It's just a second home. That's how much I moved up in the world. You thought you had it good? You thought you could do better walking out on me? Yeah, no, you try and come back in here. You try. And you succeed because you can do whatever you want. I hate that chicken. I'm gonna go for, Unbreaking 2, sure, why not? I'm gonna go for iron right now, just because the next couple of tasks that I'm going to undertake are actually, like, decently probable to result in a lava-y death, or a far-away death. But let's go. We're gonna be using netherrack as the building material for our rail platform, because we want to be able to renew the materials here. Something that's cheap, abundant, easily mined, and more importantly, renewable as we go. So now it's just a question of where exactly are we going? I need to figure out where we were in the closest thing to a straight line relative to our spawn point here. So I know we want to go straight forward there, but if we zoom in, yeah, we can't really see it, but I know it's up in there somewhere, so yeah, I guess straightforward is actually the way to go. We'll want to build this thing 2 wide, start one, and then expand the width. so that we can have room for redstone torches to keep this thing powered, because it will be a powered rail system. Used to be that would be kind of a difficult thing to build, but now that we have so much gold, well, we might as well do something with it, right? I just hope things don't start following us down this path. Alright. Do not take the pinky off of the control key for anything! Oh, this is so nerve-wracking. I can, I've never experienced this phenomenon before, but I can actually feel, my pinky straining because I don't feel like I'm going to be able to hold it. Like I'm going to let go at just the wrong moment and go plunging into the lava below. But this is good. It looks like we will, because we can use the netherrack as a gauge, it looks like we will have enough rails for this. And we are almost there. Come on. I'm going to use this thing to climb up and see where we can go. This is one of our first big quality of life projects in a while. The last time we really did anything even remotely like this was the stairs down into the mines. Horrifying. Horrifying to know that you could follow me down that gap. For a moment, you had me truly cornered. Let's think outside the box here. We could go like that, turn on a dime. I'm thinking of Factorio, where you need a little bit more room to turn, but I think that's not going to be the case here. All right, now our bridge extends safely to the other side. I think we should start exploring here to try and find our staircase from when we were here before. It might actually be up there. Because remember, we did actually crawl down from out of the ceiling. And up here somewhere, I think, is probably where we'll find it. The fact that it's in amongst all this makes it a little bit of a difficult spot. Friendly reminder that I always need to watch my step, no matter how familiar a space feels. Right here, yes, okay. So all we have to do is connect this onto where we just came from. Alright, that's the bridge connected. And now it's time to start laying rails. The very first on this map. I feel like Gromit. You're watching this construction with great interest, aren't you? You guys are going to be a problem. We really got to make sure you're not able to get up here. Which for now it seems like you can't. And we don't actually have to make this too wide. We could just make it so that... Oh, come on, you can't make that. We could just make it so that... we could just make it so that every once in a while there's one jutting out for a powered rail. And just there, we run out of rail. But you know what? That's actually perfect. Now we just have to make our powered rails, and this place will be just about complete. And literally the last of our iron is used to produce ourselves a minecart. Oh my god, we have so much gold. Okay, so that is the recipe for powered rails. Not quite as abundant as the regular rails, but we'll just make ourselves a bunch of those. Oh, what the heck, as many as we can, because it's not like we're in short supply on gold. Now, I'm not sure exactly how often we'll need to space these, but say we start right about here. That's one powered rail. Let's say... I should probably just Google this, save myself a lot of frustration. Okay, wow, quick Google search complete, and it's actually way less than I thought. It says to maintain speed, one powered rail every 38 blocks. And this right here will be our new ending, just because we have the space to afford it, and we'll make it so that you push off and get sent away by one right here. And now I suppose the only thing left to do is test it out and see if it works. Now, I know what you're thinking. This thing is a prime target for a ghast attack. Doesn't even need to hit me to ruin the next run. but we'll worry about that when it doesn't happen. That's about the level of planning I put into this. Okay, Telio! So that works going this way, which it's going downhill, so I imagine momentum would be pretty easily preserved. And that is a nice cruise through the nether. Out of my way, bozo. Behind the yellow line. And we can push ourselves slowly backward. Ah, you don't have to get out and push anymore. And boop. Yeah, maybe I should put one more at the start there, just to get us up to speed. Yeah, that's definitely not... Yeah, that's not enough. Okay, well, we're learning. We need to get our speed up higher, which presumably we can do by placing consecutive ones. We're going to lose some momentum going up here. Yeah, I think that whole section should all just be powered. Actually, can we place them like this, and then... Oh, and you are powered. Okay. Yeah, I had forgotten about this. I have done some powered rail stuff on Creative, but it's been a while. Oh, I see you coming up here, Pumbaa. Okay, yeah, we are definitely going to have to erect a barrier. Because you guys are not to be trusted. Nope, nope, nope. Get out, 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 get out. One you can't climb, preferably. Yeah, that kind of looks like you probably can still climb it with some effort. But hopefully we've at least reduced the probability. Now, let's get down there and see if our new design doesn't work. I'm really happy for the ability to actually push ourselves forward, propel ourselves to an extent. Because I've never seen this before, but I've watched so many of minecarts sail off into the distance without me in the past. So that sets us off. Only need one on level ground to preserve our momentum. That keeps us going. And perfect. Okay. The Trans-Nether Rail System's first stop is up and running. Only dangerous thing is, if we have to stop on the rails for any reason, we're in some trouble. You know, I have to say, I'm also a really big fan... Oh my god, Pumbaa! I already told your brother to get out of here. People just do not respect the yellow line. Man. But as I was saying, I actually really do like these rail sounds. They make it sound like, you know, particularly weighty. It makes it feel like you've actually done some engineering. Are you here to see the grand opening, Herobrine? Good, I hope so, and I hope you're intimidated. Huh, trying to escape, are we, basement chicken? Well, you made your bed, now lie in it. Actually, I made a really cool bed before, and now I'm gonna go lie in it. Hello, what are you? You look fancy. Oh, how I wish we could take your stuff. Yep. I'm the only one that gets to wear gold armor around here. Well, me and the piglins, I suppose. Time for bed. You know, I built this to intimidate ghosts. Tried to keep it a little bit creepy by knowing that there's a window and observation port behind me. But somehow, staring out that doorway directly at the foot of my bed is actually one of the more terrifying images I've ever seen. It's one of those things where I'm sure it's not something that's ever existed in any bedroom, but now that I think about it, it's giving me anxiety. But there is one more thing I'd like to try before the end of this part. And for this, I'm going to want to travel somewhat light. I was gonna say, so here we are again. Some of these torches, some of our torches, have been replaced with redstone torches. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Yeah, now like I said, I consider this to be a suicide mission, and a bunch of you probably already know where I'm going, but I placed away all my diamond items that aren't, like, imminently about to break. And we are going down here in search of maybe new knowledge, maybe new materials, but more likely my own death. Yeah, most of these have become redstone, which means the light levels down here are even dimmer than when we were here before. We should put one of our torches into our offhand. Honestly, it's so weird how familiar this place feels, and yet so distant, and now that I look around, so empty. Normally, whenever I come down here, there's a ton of mobs all over the place, but now there's just nothing. It almost is like... well, it's like walking around in real life and coming upon the real-life scene of a bad dream. Something you've seen before in that context. Oh, I thought you had said that I could harvest this stuff using a hoe. Oh, maybe that's incorrect information. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding. But in any case, you told me something that actually makes sense based on what we saw. That those things that call out to, well, what I now know is the Warden I've been hearing so much about for the past few months. They call it based on sound. So we have to be extra special sneaky if we want to survive this. I have made the advancement Sneak 100, so I'll take that as the sign that I'm perhaps doing something right. Oh. Oh. No. I don't want to try mining these things. But I could. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Now, I think what you said is that it will arrive if it calls 3 times. Now, I've already successfully escaped once before. So... well, that's 3. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I feel like the length of the dimming is getting worse each and every time we do this. And if I die, it's not lossless. I mean, this is mostly iron equipment, but if I die... well, actually, I have no iron to restart from, and also I will lose all this XP. You'll come out now, right? Oh, the more times it doesn't happen! Run, 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 run. Maybe standing still will keep it at bay, keep it away from me, but I'm not counting on that. I'm not counting on that. I'm not counting on crap. I'm not counting on crap right now from anybody or anything or anyone. This worked last time. This worked last time. Listen to the sounds of that thing walking around in the depths. Running towards what I know is a cavern lit by lava. Yet, I just can't see 2 feet in front of my face. This is so horrifying, I honestly can't believe it's vanilla Minecraft. I should have just kept progressing forward. That's what I should have done. But now I have to wait for it to leave. Oh my god! No, 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 deeper, deeper, deeper. Come on. Come on, no, no, no. Safety hole. Safety hole? Oh, it actually came out and spotted me. I saw its neck turn to look at me. I have no idea if it can get me in here. Oh, but it sounds like it's so close. sound of its footsteps outside, or is that my beating heart? Or by remaining in your vicinity, will I just remain trapped here forever? Not gonna lie, that doesn't sound very appealing. You're just not going away. It sounds like you're breaking blocks, which makes me very, very nervous. Every time I think it's gonna leave, it just doesn't. Perhaps I should just start tunneling upward. Up and away. That might be the only play, but I could accidentally end up exposing myself to it. And also, if it is attracted to sound, like, can it get me through these blocks? Can I alert it to where I am? Or does it already know where I am? Not knowing these things is the worst. Now, here's a thought that's just occurred to me. Some of you told me that it can smell me if it's close enough. Are those sounds of sniffing? And does that mean that it's right out there? And so this begins. For safety, we'll do that behind us. And oh my god, this is the most terrified I have ever been in Minecraft. Good God. Let's hope this iron pick has enough life in it. We've got a long way to go. Look at that. See, this is why we're sealing it up behind us, because when I look at that darkness behind us, I just imagine something rushing up at me out of the shadows. Okay, I hear zombies. Could mean we're accomplishing something, but the fact that I still hear you sniffing or tunneling, that could also be a thing, and that's also a disturbing thought. Maybe I should periodically just stop doing what I'm doing? I feel like that one old Family Guy cutaway. Alright. If you know the one I'm talking about, you know the one I'm talking about. Lapis Lazuli. Oh, now I have to survive. Alright. It's starting to sound a little bit more distant. It's good, right? And we're starting to hit regular stone. There goes the diamond pick. That's okay. Still got this entire Unbreaking 2 and Efficiency 2 iron pick, so that's good. Did I say iron pick before or diamond pick? I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore. Too scared. Can't sleep. Warden will eat me. Oh, but I still hear it out there. Point where I'm real afraid for what's going to happen when I finally do reach the surface. Iron is actually a real good reason to survive now. I really didn't expect this to be like a true survival story. I thought I would either find something cool or instantly die. But this is certainly good content. At least I hope so. See, its footsteps sound so much farther away. But the sniffing, or maybe the tunneling, I don't know, Still seems so close. We're so close. That's what we are. We're so close. Come on, we can make it. Oh, come on. This is such a story of false hope. Come on. Just keep going higher. I mean, we're under a mountain, so even if we do make it back to the surface, there's a good chance we could end up just tunneling up into the mountain some more. We do have sticks on us, good, so we could actually potentially make some new tools out of the stone. But we don't have a crafting bench. Curse me, traveling light. Still periodically remembering to seal off the tunnels behind us. Imagine somebody, a future explorer, finding this cave years from now. I hear water. I hear water. Now I don't. It sounds so much closer. Again, we're not going that way. I don't care. We're not going that way. I don't care if I hear water. A cave. Oh, but not much of a cave. Eventually, you know, sometime in the very near future, this thing's gonna run down. This pick. Well, we just gotta keep going. We have no other choice at this point. I don't hear the warden anymore, so that's good news at least. Please. Please let this be the surface this time. Please, come on. Yes! Yes! Oh, sweet daylight! And you're still down there. Oh, you had to let me know that one last time. You can't follow me up here, can you? Oh, maybe from there. And I didn't bring the compass. So now I have no idea where I am. I'm just gonna have to get high up and look around. That's my only chance. But not before I seal that tunnel behind me. Mark it with deep slate just so that it's clear what this is. But that unassuming set of stones, just a little out of place, will serve as a reminder. Do not screw with this cave. Hello? Another one of these things. Are you one that we've seen before? Well, I'm guessing not. And we find some golden carrots, a golden apple, flint and steel. Another one of these fire charges, which I've never really learned the purpose of. But yeah, this is someplace we can come back to later. Okay, we'll make a note of the fact that this is here. I think over there is the biome where I spotted those foxes earlier. Okay, this is all very good info. But I think right now all I care about is heading home. It is so good to see this stuff again. That was unbelievable. That was by far the most harrowing experience I have ever had in this game. Howdy, Liberty. It's good to hear your giggle again. Every time I start to think of myself as king of the castle, something comes along to humble me. Scurrying around like a rat in the walls, trying to escape this beast that I know I can't even make a dent in. I have no idea. See, I think the most terrifying thing to me is that I don't even know what was actually going on in that chase. Was it hot on my trail the entire time? Could it get me in there? I have no idea. It certainly seemed to be very close to me for a very long time. And the fact that I went there, the fact that I had gotten so overconfident in conquering the Nether, that I honestly thought I could just walk on my tippy toes and waltz right on in and collect whatever exotic artifacts are down there. Absolutely horrifying. And I say that as somebody who sleeps in an active crematorium. I talked a little bit in the beginning of this episode about what my long-term goals for this series would be, because I said that I'm not really interested in going after the Ender Dragon or anything like that. And I've thought about it throughout the course of this episode, and I think the real answer is when I feel like it's run its course. Because remember, this wasn't even going to be a series, this was going to be a one-shot. And then once that got popular, I said, okay, I'll do another one. And only after that did I decide, okay, I'm going to start slapping numbers on these things. So really, I think I'm going to end this when it's run its course. When there's no more left to do, when there's nothing interesting left to happen. And, well, you guys will be the judge of that. But until that eventuality occurs, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this mod out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. And as always... Oh, let me pet your little head there. Oh, you like that. Yeah. And as always, I will see you in the next one.